The Supreme Court has said that he violated their Constitution. All right, Ileana Ros-Lehtinen of Florida is the top Republican on the House Foreign Affairs Committee. She's just back from Honduras, and she happens to be an old friend from our South Florida days. Ileana, good to see you.
Nice to see you, Rick. Thank you.
Always a pleasure. What do you think of what Arias says? He kind of took me by surprise when he said that, because he seems to be saying that Micheletti's in the wrong here, and that they need to figure out a way to put Zelaya back in power. Is that right?
No, absolutely not. He may be a good guy. He may be a Nobel Prize winner, but that doesn't mean that he's always right and always perfect. In this case, he's wrong, and he's just flat out wrong.
Let's bring the
Here's
viewers.
the Honduran Constitution, and it is so clear. Article 239 clearly states that anyone who wants to tamper with the terms of office of the presidency in Honduras is automatically excluded from being president, and in fact can't even hold office for 10 years. What did Zelaya do? He wanted to put on as a referendum the extension of his terms of office. And Rick, automatically, according to the Constitution, he is no longer president. Now, you say that Honduras is a country with two presidents. That's not true. Micheletti government, according to the rules and the Constitution, a rule of law in the Constitution, he is the government. He is the president, not the de facto government.
Let me bring the viewers up to date here, because a lot of them may be lost in this conversation. I know that we are one of the shows that's been following this consistently, but people have been saying that there was a coup in Honduras, that essentially the military came in, as we always say about, Latin America. The military came in, dragged the president out in his pajamas, and took him out of the country. In fact, Zelaya was being questioned for what you just explained, and for the benefit of the viewers, the Supreme Court decided that this guy should be removed because he had violated the Constitution of the country. So that word coup that's been bantered about an awful lot is really a questionable term.
That's right. He should not have been removed from the country. There's no doubt about it. But according to the Constitution, the Micheletti government was doing everything exactly right. They said he's no longer in power.
Well, should he be given a trial? Should this guy get his day in court? They should have done that.
They should have presented charges against him, and they should have given him a court date like anyone else would who violated the Constitution. And as you pointed out, Rick, it wasn't just the one party or another party. His own parties ruled against him. The Honduran Congress ruled against him. The Supreme Court ruled against him. The Electoral Tribunal, which is an independent part, not part of the government, ruled against him. Every institution in Honduras says he is no longer president. But what happens? The United States has gotten involved, and instead of saying, look, whatever happened, whether it was right or wrong, let's move on from this. We've got a free and fair election coming up in November 29th in Honduras. But the United States position is to say that it's not going to be a legitimate election.
Yeah, but they're backing off of that. I think to be fair, my old friend and South Florida cohort.
Quit stressing the old. We're just very young.
My producer just told me, don't say that you and Ileana have known each other for 30 years.
Oh, that's a killer. Don't say that.
Oh, we practically grew up together. But look, Republicans used to get mad when Democrats during the Bush administration would go out and freelance, go to other countries and meet with heads of state, and they'd say, don't do that. Let our State Department handle that. Is it right for yourself, for Jim DeMint from South Carolina and others, to be going down to Honduras and dealing with an issue that the White House seems to be saying, you guys stay out of this. We can do this by ourselves.
You know why it's right? Because the State Department has been so wrong on this position. First of all, they have told the Hondurans they cannot have visas to come to the U.S. I would be perfectly fine to come here, stay here, and have the government or the Honduran people come here. But they are prisoners in their country. We have yanked all of their visas, including the Supreme Court, which is totally apolitical. Nobody in Honduras can get out of Honduras. That is not right. So in order to talk to the government, in order to talk to the presidential candidates, in order to talk to all of the institutions and civil society, one has to go there. Now, this is the tricky part, Rick. The State Department doesn't want us to go there. They say no to the trips, and when we wanted to go down there, and we did anyway, the State Department says, well, I don't think you want to do that. And they paint this picture like this is a country under siege. There's no rioting going on there. The children are going to school. The families are going to work.
I agree with you.
There's a sense of normalcy. But let's respect free and fair and impartial elections. That's a great way out of this mess. No matter how you feel about it. We even had elections in Gaza with Hamas.
Absolutely.
Which was a mistake.
And you know what? And
let's have them in Honduras.
Let the people decide. By the way,
let the people decide.
Before I let you go, I hope your girls are good.
23 and 22 already.
Wow. I only remember.
I had them at a young age.
Yeah. You were, what, in your